Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you today. Yep, Ryan Day has ticked off some OSU fans with something he just recently said. And it kind of reminded me of Butch Jones a little bit. And Mike Norvell, he's given back $4.5 million. Now, I don't know if it's because he feels guilty about going 2-10 last year or what the deal, or this year, or what the deal is, but I think we're going to get in the details. I'll show you what I think is in his mind. And you're going to see several people writing about this. It talks about how the OSU fans are furious with Ryan Day over comments ahead of the playoff matchup. Now, I'm somebody that, like I said, I've kind of carried the guy's water for most of the year because I couldn't understand how many Ohio State fans had come in my comment section and they were mad with Ryan Day. I was like, he's winning an 87% rate. He's very articulate, intelligent. You know, what's the problem? Is he using too much just for men, or what? You know, is that what's upsetting you? I mean, get over that. But the more I research this guy, the more I'm starting to understand why the fans are getting upset with him. Because there's some Butchisms in this guy that I'm starting to pick up on that obviously the OSU fans have picked up on long ago. But let's let you listen to what he just said, and then I'll give you the response that all these fans are coming up with.
You know, the goal all along was to make the playoffs. Well, we're here. And you know, we've won 10 games this year. We've had 2 top 5 wins. And along the way, there's been different challenges. You know, this year, the Big Ten changed. You know, we had 3 top 5 games this year, 2 on the road. And we took on some injuries. And so along the way this year, there's been twists and turns, some things that went well, some things that obviously we'd like to have back. But you got to learn from those. You got to make adjustments. And I think every team that's in this playoff right now, you know, is going to have issues. And it's the teams that can address those issues going into the playoffs that's going to give themselves the best chance to win. So we're excited about being in this game. We know that this has been the goal all along, was to get into the playoffs and to make a run at this thing. And so Tennessee's a very good team coming in here, but we got them at home. It's going to.
Yeah, that went very Butchy. That was very much some Butchisms. The goal all along was to get in the 12-team playoff. And here's the responses on X from various people. Official Ohio State DG said the goal all along was to make the 12-team playoff. The Big Ten changed and we took on injuries. I'm sick. Another guy says, yeah, he's got to go. Another guy says, spoken like a true loser. Another guy says, fire him into the sun. This guy says, this is the most mentally soft excuse maker I've ever seen. Yeah, this kind of screams 5-star hearts, champions of life, that sort of thing. It almost sounds like, well, gosh, you know, if we don't win Saturday night, it's okay because we reached our goal. We made the college football playoff. Now, that's okay if you're a team that's, you know, middle of the road, maybe like an Iowa or Syracuse or, you know, a South Carolina, for example, although I think they would have done some damage in the playoff. So I don't even know if I can throw South Carolina in there, although they would have been thrilled to get in. But there's plenty of teams that should feel that way. Ohio State's not one of them. You're spending $20 million on player salaries, so to speak, or NIL, and only Texas spends more because they got that big-time oil money.
Haven't you noticed? You got to be a man to play in my league.
So, yeah, that's very, very Butchy to me. And I can see we got tired of that here. We got real tired of hearing those excuses of, you know, hey, we had a successful year. We went to a bowl game. You know, our guys, certain number graduated and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, that's all great and good. But you get in a playoff, we want you to go and either win the whole thing or win as many games as you can, not just say, well, anyway. That mentality can upset fans, especially if they've been hearing that for years. So anyway, he's definitely upset some folks. Now, the thing that I covered yesterday was the goalpost deal. And the thing about Vol Twitter is if they smell blood in the water, they're coming. I'll just go ahead and tell you.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah, Vol Twitter, they don't care. And as soon as they heard the flag planting and there was a guy that was going to turn that into a felony, the lawmaker up there, that was blood in the water. So they went, oh, okay, you think that upset you? They did this. So, yeah, they drew up the plans for taking the goalpost out and dumping them in the Olentangy River, or trail, well, river, actually. And that really got the OSU folks upset. And this went viral on Twitter. So they're going to take this and they're going to see this as another Butch Jones thing, and they're going to wear that out on Twitter. Because once Vol Twitter gets a hold of you, they're not going to let go. And plus, they've had 2 weeks to work on this, and they're just waiting for this game, so it gives them something to do. But whatever you do, Ohio State fans, don't try to reason with Vol Twitter. It's not going to work out for you. They're like this.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear.
Yeah, you can't reason with them. It's just the way it is. Best thing to do is not mess with them. But the problem is once you put that blood in the water that upsets you about the flag, it gets ugly. And man, I went into the comments section and I thought, look, it's kind of a joke, honestly, is what it is. It's just people having fun. They're not going to take the goalpost down and throw them in the river. Well, so a lot of people took it seriously, and a lot of the Ohio State fans were furious, and a lot of the Tennessee fans were upset. They're like, oh no, this is going to give them bulletin board material. Look, there's so much bulletin board material for a playoff game, it doesn't really matter. These guys are going to be so pumped on both sides, they don't need any extra. Believe me, they're already at 100%. It's not going to make any difference. And those people in the comment section, and I was in there talking to them like, look, this is kind of a joke. You do realize they're just having fun. It's like, oh, no, this is terrible. This is a disaster. And you better not come up here and do that or we'll put y'all in jail. It's like, you got to be kidding me. But hey, that's how it, in the comment section, you get a little rough on YouTube. So anyway, I spent a lot of time in there. You don't want to go in there right now.
Do not go in there. Woo!
Certainly not on that video. Maybe on this one it'll be okay, but that video, don't go into the comment section. Yeah, it's getting a little rough in there. It's a little foul. But hey, it's my job. I got to go in there and respond. I got to read what you have to say. And most of the time it's really entertaining and fun. Sometimes it's a little bit, gets a little rough, but that's okay. It's YouTube. So I'm super excited about this game. I know you are too. And it's just, we're all having to wait 2 weeks. And people need something to do, so Vol Twitter's going to go to town on it, which is what they're doing. Anyway, it's fun. Isn't this 12-team playoff already fun? It's awesome. I love it. And to be involved in it is the inaugural year is sensational. Sorry about that, Alabama.
How dare you?
All right, now we got to talk about Mike Norvell. Speaking of NIL money and revenue sharing, he's given up $4.5 million in salary ahead of this revenue share deal. Now, he's coming off a 2-10 season, and to say that people are upset down there is an understatement. Not only are they angry, they're apathetic, which is the worst thing you can have for a fan base, and a lot of that anger is directed straight at Mike Norvell, and he feels it. I promise you, there's not enough money in the world to insulate him from that anger. So this is pretty smart. Number one, it's going to get him some goodwill. A lot of his fans will be like, you know what? Yeah, he's making a ton of money, but at least he's giving some of it back. And what they're going to do with this money, they're going to use it to pay athletes because they're going to have to come up with $20 million a year out of their budget, their athletic department budget, to pay players. It's not going to just come from some magical source. And if you know anything about athletic departments, any state institution or, government thing, they're going to spend every dollar. So they've been doing that for years. So it's not like there's profit in there that, well, we'll just take this profit and we'll use that towards the $20 million. No, they've spent every dime. And most of it's salaries and employees and things like that. Or, they're building facilities and doing all kinds of things. So what they're going to have to do to come up with the $20 million is two different things. Number one, they're going to have to raise money. Number two, they're going to have to cut expenses. And what that's going to be, you're not going to have an assistant, associate, athletic director reporting to the viceroy and all this kind of stuff. The 12 layers of employees that you've got in an athletic department, you're probably going to have to cut that down to like 6 or 7. So they're going to probably get rid of 15 to 20 employees at each one of these athletic departments. Now, the coach is not going to want that because a lot of those are support people. So he's saying, well, let's come up with $4.5 million out of my salary. That'll help with that. The other thing, like I said, they're going to have to raise money. Now at Tennessee, we added a athlete's tax onto our tickets. Now it's not enough to cover the $20 million, but it'll cover a few $1 million. And our athletic director just said, look, I'm just telling folks the truth. We're going to have to tax more on the tickets, and that money's going to have to go towards the players. And I'd rather just be straight up about it, which I'm fine with. You know, it's better to do that than to try to hide it. Just say, look, we need more money and this is how we're going to get part of it. They're also going to have to cut expenses, and coaches are not going to be able to make these huge salaries, and assistant coaches as well. You know, it was getting to where assistants were making as much money as head coaches used to make. Well, those days are, you know, they're behind us after next year, because to find $20 million out of, say, a $150 million budget is tough to do. That's like, what, 12.5%? You do that to any company, and most of them will go up, they'll go out of business. They'll just fail. So this is going to get a little bit ugly for a while, but that money is going to go to the players if you want to compete. Now, you don't have to spend all the $20 million, but you're going to fall behind if you don't. And don't think this includes NIL, because NIL, I think, separate, and I don't think they're going to be able to eliminate NIL, and I think they're going to have to do both, honestly. So this is great for the players, not so much for the coaches, because they've been the ones making all the money. The players have made nothing. Well, now that's going to have to be shared. And some of the coaches are going, you know, I'm up here making $11 million a year. Maybe I could make a little less and have some better players and not live with this grief of going 2-10 and having everybody mad at me all the time. That's not fun. I mean, he's in a fishbowl down there. Let me assure you, that's not an easy place to coach if you're losing. So anyway, 2 big stories today. Figured I'd cover those. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover all these big college sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, boom, boom. Right there it is. Hit that little button. Will not cost you a dime. Help you get my videos. And right over here is the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy based on your viewing history. The all-knowing algorithm. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.